my friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new to my channel, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content, and if you are back, welcome back. Today I'm here to join you guys for my weekly WIP and Chat. So if you are new, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat stands for Chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. I'm going to be diamond painting today like I usually am, and invite you to craft alongside me, or you treat this like a podcast if you like, or you're getting up to stuff around the house, whatever works for you. I am just looking forward to keeping you company and chatting with you about what's been going on this past week and stuff. So first let me give you a quick rundown of what I'm working with, and let me explain why this is late and that kind of thing. So what I'm going to be working on today is a kit called Aphrodite from Diamond Art Club and the artist ChrissaBug. This kit was actually part of one of my, I called it my rainy day stash, which is just kits in my stash that I have some sort of special attachment to, and I just want to save it for a rainy day when I really need a pick-me-up and some happiness in my life, and this has fit the bill. This is actually the second WIP and Chat in a row, the second week in a row I've been working on this kit, and I'll chat a little bit more about why that is a little further on as well, but I am coming up on the end, you guys. I'll tell you more once I talk about the accessories, actually. Let me not get ahead of myself. So I'm going to be using some accessories that I just opened up in my small shop haul that went up this past weekend. And that includes this pen, which is my very, very first from this company. This is from Hook and Lathe on Etsy. And I've seen this blank making the rounds at various turners. I'm trying to remember who the blank maker is, but it's just such a gorgeous pastel rainbow. And I will also be using this tray from Cat Proof Trays, and their trays do come with these kind of malleable, but then they sit really firmly, these lids. Really good if you have small children or cats, which is why the cat proof. But this is in one of their largest sizes. If you look on the back, you can kind of see it there. It says, it's not really wanting to come up. It says Fine Boy right there. That's how they name their size. So I love this size tray. It's really, really good for multi-placing, and we've got a lot of multi-placing ahead of us today, as you will see. So pen and tray, and then in my single placer, I'm going to be using WeWax, and this is from their relaunch, WeWax's relaunch. Now, the person that makes WeWax, her name is Laura. She has a YouTube channel called Anxiety Art Adventures, and I really adore her. She's very, very sweet, and she had made WeWax for a while back, maybe like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and then took a break from making it and has brought it back. And this was from the very first release. It's in the scent Lemon Sugar, and it just smells amazing. I think she uses like all organic products and stuff. It really is one of my go-tos to use in my single placer. I still have plenty of WeWax from when she originally was making it, and I still use and love it to this day. So it smells really nice. It's not a strong, like in-your-face scent. It doesn't smell overly chemically. I'm really sensitive to that sort of thing, so I love it. And then this is the Mermaid dot putty that went along with the Mermaid colorway that Butterfly Effect wears, released quite a while back at this point, but those small shop hauls, there's quite the lead time on those sometimes, from when I get something in or when I order something to when it actually makes it in a lineup for a video. So this is what the putty looks like, which, yes, it has been used, and I'll explain why in a moment. But I've already loaded this up into my multi-placer, so I'm going to leave it as is. But what I do is I'll put this on a flat surface, and I'll just line it up at the edge and try to press down really firmly so that then it fills out the tip really nicely, and you can see it even kept that color line. So I'm going to leave that in there, but I am going to pick out and replace the WeWax so I can show you how I load that, and that's a lot easier to reload than the Mermaid, or than putty is, rather. So and then the minder is from a small shop that I am blanking on. I don't think this one was Galloway's, though it is the style that a lot of Galloway's gallery minders are. I'm going to dig in my email and stuff and my Etsy receipts and see if I can pin down where I had gotten this minder from. But we are really all about positivity and encouraging and uplifting one another, and that's the space that I'm here for. So this just really seemed apt. So this is the minder I'll be using tonight, and I will link all of these accessories down in the description box of this video. Also, these are from my small shop haul. These are grammar, a couple of bracelets that I just got in from Love Bev B. Bev B Diamond Paints has a YouTube channel, and she also makes cute bracelets. And I have a channel. I like having bracelets on my wrist and having fun color coordinating ones. And I just thought these were really pretty and colors that I didn't have. So opened that in my recent small shop haul as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me show you where we're at on the canvas, by the way. So I feel really bad because I almost was like, oh, let's work on the best part of this canvas, which is over here. So we're working on it upside down, but I decided to save these sections for last because this kit just generally is taking me longer to get through than I was originally anticipating. And I just need something to kind of help me get through to the end. So that's why I'm like, we're just going to save this gorgeousness for last, and we're going to do the rest of some of these background colors up here towards the top. So let me get my pen all loaded up, make sure you guys can see okay. I actually need to move the washi tape too, because when I originally sectioned it off, I did not necessarily plan on changing where I was ending it. So let's just pop this off. By the way, if you're wondering how I use washi tape to section off my canvases or create borders or anything like that, I have a video dedicated to that I will do my darndest to remember to link in the description box too. But it's always linked, I know, like in my unboxings and stuff, because I'll link some of my beginner videos in my unboxings. But anyway, hello, how are you doing today? I hope that your week has been off to a good start, and it is Monday. Oh, I don't need to cut this because this is just this last section. Okay. I hope your week has been off to a good start, because it is actually Monday evening for me. And normally my WIP and Chats, if you've been around for a minute, you would know that my WIP and Chats typically go up on Mondays. It's my usual go-to. Weekly WIP and Chats go up on Monday mornings. It's a fun way to start the week together, and I know a lot of people look forward to it. And if something happens and I have to, reschedule or cancel, I always get asked about it, which I don't mind. It's very sweet. It's very, very sweet. So that's why I put up actually a post in my community tab earlier today, just letting people know, hey, WIP and Chat's going to be late this week. So my apologies for that. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and address it. So what happened was I did film a WIP and Chat on Sunday night, and I didn't feel good about it. And I don't want this to come off as though I'm trying to be inauthentic or filtered whatsoever. I really thought that the way that I communicated was poor. And that often happens when I'm when my anxiety is high or something like that. And I just thought, this is not how I want to do this. So I instead treated that WIP and Chat as a chance to just sort of get through and process what I clearly needed to process and feel in that moment. Went, you know what? I feel a lot better, and now I want to do a second pass at this and just feel a lot more collected in my thoughts and feelings, and just be able to share what I hope is more what I want to come from WIP and Chats and my content in general, which is to just be a positive space and a place with at the risk of using a job-centric buzzword, with a growth mentality and just cognizant of what people are going through, I suppose. And as I was listening back to my WIP and Chat last night, I just wasn't getting that. And just, yeah. So I can count on one hand, I mean, I think maybe there has been one other time that I've ever finished a WIP and Chat and gone, I don't know about that one, and gone, we're just gonna tuck that one away as a learning experience, and we'll try again tomorrow, or we'll just take the week off or something like that. That in particular has only happened maybe once or twice, I think. Now, I've been on YouTube for about 3 years now, so that I don't know. My memory is not always the greatest. So if someone goes back and digs back and finds like, no, you mentioned here and here and here, then I believe you. My memory is genuinely not the greatest. And so, yeah. So like I said, last night's, when I was filming, the tone that it came off of as was much more, I don't know, it was a bit more negative than what I like to go for. And I just have found myself really being highly introspective and feeling like, what kind of space do I want to create? What are my values? And what kind of community do I want to be reaching? And what do I feel like you guys come here for? And it really was just a lot of authenticity and vulnerability, but also, sorry, a little bit of a frog in my throat. Let me grab some water. Seriously, this bronchitis cough will not quit. And it's passing around my family a little bit too. Hold on. Okay, I know you guys aren't here for the coughing fits, so I'm sparing you that. I was saying that I just am just trying to be aware of what you guys come here for and the space that I want to be really intentional about creating. And I think that it probably speaks for itself, just as far as the kinds of content that you will see on here after 3 years. I think it's hopefully pretty evident that this is a space where I really am always trying to believe the very best in people, and that includes small shop owners, fellow creators, fellow crafters, all of those things. And it includes, if something is going on that, if a small shop, if I'm made aware that a small shop has a particular set of business practices that I don't agree with, like getting really combative with fellow creators and fellow small shop owners if they disagree with something those people are doing, or if there's a shop that has what look like some red flags to me as far as licensing goes, and so I decide to play it safe in some way, or just any number of issues like that. If I don't click with someone, even, I don't come to this space and talk about it. I'm not here to put anyone on blast, and I don't think that that's kind. I don't think that that's helpful, and it's not the kind of energy that I want to bring here at all. Instead, what I focus on is I want to show love and support towards small shops and creators, and just shops and and everything that I feel really good about. And that's what I'm going to do instead of talking about what I don't like, or going, oh, you guys, I really don't think that you should shop from this person, or, ooh, you guys, I heard about how there was this really sketchy thing going on over here. That is not the energy that I want to create. It never has been, and it never will be. The exception has been in cases where I feel like I have really directly represented a product or a shop to you in one way, and then there's been a major change. I'm thinking back to, and this has zero bearing on the recent change of ownership. I don't have anything to share about that because I don't know. It's all brand new. I'm certainly not going to speak on something that is brand new. But I'm thinking back to earlier this year when I, after over a year of really working hard and trying to share feedback and help DIY Moon Shop improve and stuff like that with what they had going on, it just got to a point where I felt like, well, I had been an affiliate, and I had shared some really strong, like, positive reviews and stuff like that. Or rather, I should say, I had a very, very different experience when I first started out and the product that was being put out. And there was a really big change, and I felt like I had exhausted all of my options for trying to share feedback and help them. And I felt a very deep responsibility to share what my experience was in an extremely respectful and very measured and level-headed way, and very much in a way that said, this is completely about, like, me just sharing what's different, and you get to decide for yourself if, you know, the various characteristics or changes or things like that, maybe you love it and that's a priority to you, and more power to you. This is just information as far as a really different experience that I've had compared to one that I had, you know, a year or 2 years ago. And that is really the rare case where you'll hear me speak on something like that. But note that I never, ever, ever, ever told anyone, you really shouldn't shop from this shop anymore. Because that just wasn't true. It was more, here's what I am seeing with the kits and the materials and stuff. And it's completely up to you. So, so I will just say that the past week has been, we'll call it a lot of opportunity for introspection and what I've talked about and reevaluating. Okay, what do I want my spaces to be? And I have been told by friends and by just members of the community and stuff that I am generally a pretty kind person. I give people the benefit of the doubt to a fault, and I'm constantly trying to put myself in someone else's shoes and go, oh, I'm sure that there's a context here for how why they're doing this thing. And I'm a sap, I guess. I really want to believe the best in people to a fault. And I say to a fault because I was very let down in that in some ways. And it became very, very clear to me that approach was very much being taken advantage of. And there was a lot of people going, well, you know, there's this personality, this image that she has. She's not going to risk souring it by drawing any kind of boundary or line, or she's not going to say anything about it. And I just felt very, very taken advantage of. But it was when I saw some truly horrific things being said that were about me by name, that were talking about me as though I were less than human, that my jaw was on the floor. And I just thought, I have never in my life thought that it was acceptable to talk about someone else like this. And just had to really come to grips with the idea that there are people that treat others that way and talk about others that way, and choose instead to go, okay, I'm going to surround myself with people that I feel really, really good about their character and confident in how they behave and treat other people. And sorry, another coughing fit. I am no longer required to accommodate people that are like this in my spaces, and that is okay. So I am using this as an exercise to use some boundary setting skills, and again, not me going out and putting anyone on blast, because I'm not that person in any space, but just to go, okay, well, you know, that's fine. You can say and think what you like, and I'm gonna continue cultivating a space where it's life-giving and we build each other up, and not in the toxic positivity way, but in a way that it's like, that's just not how you treat other people in general. And I find myself, well, a couple of sort of moments in my YouTube career, I suppose, that happened this past week. One, I found myself going, oh, this is why I've heard some YouTube creators say in the past, even in the diamond painting world, I don't even want to use the word community anymore, like, because that just, I don't feel that right now in a lot of ways. But the diamond painting world, creators saying things like, I'm a human being. Like, I'm going through my own struggles. I am just doing the best that I can and trying to be an ethical person, a good person. But like a reminder, I am a human being. I'm just a crafter sitting here doing my thing. I've got a family. I've got stress. Like, I'm not perfect, and I'm not some faceless entity that I mean, frankly, deserves to be talked about in that kind of way. And I suddenly understood that with a lot more clarity. And I'll be honest, sometimes when I would hear them say it, I was like, well, yeah, like, do you really have to say it? And now, yeah, okay. This is just my turn to say something like that. The other thing that happened was that this was the first time that I had even just the passing thought. It was mostly a passing thought. This has never happened before. I thought, I could just shut down my channel. Like, this is actually not worth it at all. And after I had that feeling and let it pass through me, and then I sat for a minute and went, okay, now what do I do? Now how do I want to approach things? How can I use this as a chance to grow? And like, let's do some introspection and see if there are ways that I can be doing things better. But also to go, okay, it's okay for me to draw some boundaries when I need to, if it's gonna avoid provoking this kind of thing. So but that was kind of a bummer. That was kind of a bummer to actually have that moment of, maybe I'll just shut it down. Like, I will go and take care of my 2 young kiddos and enjoy a summer with them and just diamond paint on my own. Like, it's fine. It's really, really fine. But no, I'm not. That's not happening. But yeah, so it was a difficult week, and I'm glad that I feel in a headspace now where I can focus on, all right, now what? So let's keep moving forward and make lemonade. I almost said make lemons out of lemonade. No. You know what I mean. So that's just kind of the update, though. And I apologize if you are here and going, wow, this is not typically how the WIP and Chats go, and this is not really what I came here for. I really, I am sorry for that. But to say that I've never seen that level of vitriol and nastiness is not an exaggeration. And to have it directed at me by name was an experience that, yeah, it'll make you think, and think that once you get through it, that it really is very telling about other people's character and not my own. So my conscience is clear. But let's move on from that, and just, if you take away anything from this, it is to know that the other people on a side of a screen, whether it's me or it's another crafter or someone you're talking to in a comment section on a Facebook post, they're a human being. And what the world needs right now is kindness and grace and understanding, because I don't know about you guys, but it just feels like people are going through it lately. And so it's just, as much as you can, try to be gracious, try to assume the best of people, and try to bring more light to the world than darkness. Try to build others up more than you're trying to knock them down and be cruel. And I don't know. That's not how I was raised, to behave that way, to be cruel to others. But let's talk about other things, okay? Okay. My husband is a saint. I know that he badly would love to have come and said something, but I was just like, no, let me just chat. I'm in a better place this evening. So other things that have been going on. Obviously, last week I was talking to you guys in my WIP and Chat all about prepping for the Taylor Swift concert. And that happened, a week ago, right this very moment. I was at that concert, and it was pure magic. And I just, nothing like it. And I still can't believe that I was there in a lot of ways. I did take some video, though I was really deliberate about not just camping out behind my camera, my phone. It was my phone. Well, I didn't have like a fancy camera there, because I really did want to take some moments where I was just soaking up being there. And I'm glad that I did, but also I'm glad I got some video because I have listened back to it and watched, and the audio came through great, and so did the video, and it's fun. It was really fun. And I just kept thinking, I'm standing here tired and my feet hurting just from standing here for 2.5 hours. It was a 3.5 hour concert, but about 2 hours in, I was like, I think I have to sit for a few minutes. Even though I did like inserts in my shoes because I got really sparkly and glittery shoes to match the really sparkly and sequiny and glittery dress, which yes, I wore. I'm so glad I did. And man, talk about a confidence boost being in a stadium with 70,000 other people that are just excited to be there, and everyone is everyone else's best hype person. And wow, you look amazing. Oh, I love your outfit. Oh, I love your hair. I did dye the ends of my hair pink. But anyway, I was wearing the sparkly shoes and my feet were dying, and I just thought, and was standing here. And meanwhile, Taylor Swift, who's less than a year younger than me, is doing this non-stop, no intermission, occasional like 1.5 minute outfit changes, 3.5 hour, 44 song set list, and is wearing heels for most of it and is moving non-stop. What is it like to be in that kind of shape and singing live, like absolutely singing live? I just mad respect for everything about that woman. But it was magical. And there's this really fun thing that she does that she's been doing at her concerts. LA was her last stop on her US tour, at least for now. Now she's going international for several months, and then I think coming back to the States for a few cities, and that's right now listed as the end of her tour. We'll see. But this was her last stop before going overseas, and she had been, I don't know if she's still going to do this internationally, but had this fun thing where she had her same set list every single night for every single concert on the US tour, on every, each concert night. And the exception though was that she would do at each concert a couple of, they call them surprise songs. And it would be a couple of songs that weren't already on the regular set list, that she would play acoustic on either, piano or guitar. And she really wouldn't repeat them from city to city, with a couple like really minor exceptions. So there was lots of speculation surrounding, what are our surprise songs going to be for the night? And I feel like we hit the jackpot because we got Dress and Exile, which Exile I love, and Dress, honestly, that song has grown on me a lot. It's a good one. And it was incredible. The audience was like, just the level of screeching that happened when she played the opening chords and people realized what the songs were. The energy in the room was like nothing I've ever experienced. To be fair, I've never been to a like big live concert event before, but I still just feel like this really was truly like nothing else that other performers have ever done as far as putting on a show goes. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. I knew that my personal favorite song was part of the regular set list, and that was wonderful. And I just am in awe that I got to experience that live, which, by the way, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, it's the song Long Live, which is from her Speak Now album. And it was wonderful. Everything was amazing. My only regret is that I didn't realize when I got the tickets, which I had gotten very lucky and managed to get them through a Ticketmaster drop and not have to pay exorbitant reseller prices. I didn't realize, because I was just trying to move so fast, that the seats, and it wasn't really clear on the seat map, but there was a big like lighting fixture that basically blocked our view of a good chunk of the center like diamond where she did a lot of her performing and sets. So that was kind of a bummer, but we were so high up in the nosebleeds that it didn't really matter that much. We were mostly just watching the screens, and then getting out at the end of the night, oh my gosh, just getting out of the parking lot was the whole thing. But nobody cared because we were all still just thrilled and riding the high of having been at the concert. So it was wonderful. Thank you to everyone that was like, tell us about it, and was all excited and hyping it up with me last week. I appreciate that. That was really sweet. And I don't know, there's part of me that's like, can I go abroad and see it again? No. I am grateful that I got to go at all. And, yeah, so that was a big thing. Another big thing that happened last week, in the positives, is that we got a second car. I'm so happy. So happy. So we've been down to one car since end of December last year. And for a multitude of reasons, we're like, we just need to make it work on one car for a while. And it was kind of tricky. I did often feel a little bit restricted because Adam does a lot up in LA, like with friends and film related stuff. And so when he would do that, if he couldn't get necessarily a ride with someone, which was often because we don't have a lot of friends that live down in this area, he would take the car and I'd be at home with the kids. And we agreed on this. Like, I knew what I was getting into. It was fine. This was the right decision and everything. But I definitely was like, oh, it just is going to be so nice whenever we have a second car again, because it made me feel a little less restricted. And there was a part of me that always was a bit panicked, like, what if there's an emergency? You guys, I have anxiety, like diagnosed anxiety. I sometimes would have those like what if thoughts, like, but what if there's an accident? And Adam was like, you act like 911 doesn't exist. I was like, I'm talking about like the mid-level emergencies that don't require calling 911, but I'm just stuck. And it's like, no, we know people that live around us. Like, we have neighbors and we have friends and stuff, and it was fine. But we have a second car and I'm so happy. We did lots of research. We kind of really have always been big fans of Consumer Reports because there's no, like, they're not funded by ad companies, at least to my knowledge. They still are not. And so we always have gone to them to read up on reviews of any used cars, because we buy our cars used and drive them into the ground. But we try to thoroughly research it so that we're getting hopefully a reliable car and that is going to, last us a while and stuff like that. So we ended up with the Honda Accord. We tend to often end up with Hondas and Toyotas. I have a Toyota RAV4, and now we have a Honda Accord. It's a 2013, I believe. Yeah, it's a 2013 because it's 10 years old. And we ended up taking the kids out and going out for a little jaunt together on Sunday. So yesterday for me, 2 days ago for you guys. We were like, we really want to get the kids out of the house. And I actually, even though Adam had gotten it in like the middle end of last week, I hadn't ridden in it yet. And neither had the kids. And so we thought, well, let's put the kids in the car. Let's come up with an excuse, a reason to take a little drive in the new car. And I was really excited because I wanted to see, how's it ride and stuff like that, because our last car, that was Adam's last car, really was a stick shift, and I had a really hard time ever riding in that car because I am susceptible to getting car sick and like just feeling nauseous and headachy, not more than that. But I just, in a stick shift car, I was too sensitive to sort of, no matter how smoothly Adam would shift gears, it was just too much for me. So we rarely would go anywhere for, like, we're going to take the boys and, drive down to the beach or drive, to somewhere. We would always take my car, the RAV4, and I would always drive. So I was curious to see, like, okay, this is a little bit newer car to us. Again, new to us. Maybe the ride will be smoother, and it's an automatic. It's not a stick. So I just want to see, am I going to be able to tolerate it a little easier? And I did. It was very, very comfy and smooth. It's got some nice features Adam is really excited about, and the boys thought it was fun to ride in Dad's new car. And we ended up we picked up a Target drive-up order, which is very exciting. And then we went on a donut date, which I think I've talked about these here before a little bit, but I'm going to tell you again anyway, even if you've heard it. So we do this thing with our kids from time to time that we call, poor Adam, that we call it donut date. And it just involves us going to Dunkin' Donuts, go through the drive-thru, and each person gets a donut, and then we go park in the shade, and the kids get to take off their seatbelts and climb on our laps up front, and we eat donuts. And that's really just it. And here's where that came from, is back when Connor was maybe 4 or 5, my mom was in town visiting, and Adam and I were leaving. She was going to watch our kids while Adam and I went on a date. And we told Connor, we're going on a date, because he'd asked, like, can I come? And it was very, very sweet. And we said, this is just, date for just mom and dad. And then my mom, Adam, it was my mom, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, said, Connor, I'll take you on a date. You and me, we'll go on a date tomorrow, which is so precious. And I don't remember if she asked Connor what he wanted to do, and he said he wanted to go get donuts, or yeah, Adam was saying it was his idea. And then I don't know if it was which one of them then was like, it's a donut date, and which is also especially cute because we always go to Dunkin' for the donut date, and it says DD, and we would tell Connor, the DD actually stands for donut date, and he thought that was very cute. And so that, has stuck around as a little tradition for years now. And we used it as a way to, especially when Micah was really young, a baby, and, taking a lot of our time and one-on-one attention, we really wanted to make sure that Connor was still getting that too. We really wanted to make sure it was just sort of established that, you're still going to get one-on-one time with mom and dad. And now it's become like a really cute and fun thing. And often now it looks like me taking both kids. Like right now, Adam is having a lot of he works from home most of the time, and it's a lot of phone calls. And I'm always in the morning, I'm like, okay, so tell me which calls I really need to either get Mike out of the house or work on keeping him quietest for. And he'll be like, okay, this call and then this call. And so some of the time I've been like, okay, boys, we're going on a donut date. And that's how I get them out of the house for a little bit. But yeah, I love that little tradition, and that stuck around, and that we had our first donut date in the new car. So it was fun. It was really fun. And yeah, so that was something fun we did this past weekend. And I have a random question for you guys. This is completely random, and it's just because I glanced over at my little list, because remember how I said earlier in the vlog the WIP and Chat, that I have a not great memory. Often when I'll sit down to film, a lot of what I want to say just will leave my head, and I'll be like, didn't I want to talk about like this and this? So sometimes I'll just jot down notes to be like, oh yeah, like remember this? Anyway, I looked over at my notepad, and the words cat litter caught my eye. So I need your help. If you are a cat owner, or I suppose if you own an animal that uses cat litter that isn't a cat, would that be like a ferret or something? I don't know. But okay, so we're currently on the hunt for what it feels like a unicorn when it comes to cat litter. Let me explain. So we live in a really small space, and we don't really have an option for a place. Do you want a cough drop?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I may need a cough drop.
I have cough drops.
So we live in a really small space. There's not a good place to put a litter box that's like out of the way and like that we're not going to smell it at all. We don't have like a attached laundry room or anything like that. Okay, hold on a second though. You see all of the rest of this that I have not put any diamonds down is 141AB. Literally this whole thing. So I doubt we'll finish it before the end of this WIP and Chat, but let's see how far we can get. Anyway, so I recently, for the longest time, we've been using just sort of traditional cat litter, tidy cats type, like clay. I think clay litter is technically the texture and what it's made of. Tidy cats litter. And then we just were feeling like this is really incredibly dusty, and Adam's working back there more, and he's a little sensitive to dust allergens, and thought, okay, let's try a different kind of litter. And so I started poking around a little bit, and I saw a ton of people recommending this brand called World's Best Cat Litter, and it's made from corn or something like that. And so we've been using it, and the good news is the dust is way down. It's basically non-existent. The bad news is it's really not covering up the smell, and we scoop this litter box every day, really. But it's just like when the cats go number 2, it just smells. It's even if it's buried, it just seems like it smells. So I'm kind of like, well, maybe it's not this litter then. So I love that there's no dust, but the stink is gross. It's not what I want to be smelling in a good part of our living area. So if you own a cat or an animal that uses cat litter, what kind of litter do you like if it meets some of those requirements? Low dust, but still covers up odor. Also, it clumps really well. I'm like the number 1, so I'm kind of bummed it's not going to work. But yeah, so let us know. Much appreciated. As far as what's going on with the kiddos, it is still summer break for us. A lot of people have started back to school. I've seen back to school pictures on social media and stuff like that. But our school district starts quite a bit later. And so we're still in hardcore summer mode at the moment. And Connor's loving it. I think it's going to be hard for him when he has to go back to school because he's loving summer break and games and and YouTube and stuff like that. But he was really cute the other day. He said, "Oh, Mom, can I tell you about this dream that I had?" And then, Adam, had come over too. And so we're listening, and he's telling us this really, really elaborate dream that has to do with some characters in a book series that he's really into. We just recently, I know I've mentioned it here before, he's gotten into, because he loves it, the Magic Treehouse series, which is perfect for his age group. And when my parents came out for a visit, they actually brought out most of the ones that they still had from when my brother was a kid, because my brother was really into that series growing up, and it's what got him into reading. Connor's been loving them and going through them, and so he's telling us this really, really elaborate dream that he had about, where he was like getting to do these cool things with the characters from these books. Number 1, this is way more coherent of a dream than I've ever had, and it sounded way more fun than most of my dreams. And it was so cute hearing him tell it. And then at the end of it, he was like, "Yeah, that was a really cool dream." And we were like, "Yeah, it really was. That sounds like a lot of fun." He's like, "I'll tell you when I have another really cool dream again." And I was like, "Okay." He also is definitely at that age where we're having to talk through, like, okay, so the bruh thing, the being called bruh, and that sus. I'm like, wow, okay, this is it. I'm a boy mom now. This has started. But having to explain to him, so your mom jokes are not it. We're going to need to that's not going to be a thing that we do. And I think some of the stuff he just kind of picks up from, he'll chat with some people in some of the games that he plays, and I'll see some stuff on YouTube, and we're just all about like, we're just going to keep the conversation, the lines of conversation open, and be like, so this is why that is not polite or kind. And if you say things like this at school, you're probably going to get in trouble. So, and if you keep doing it at home, you're going to get in trouble too. So it's funny. It's funny, some of the stuff that he'll say. And we have to catch ourselves, because at first, sometimes we're so surprised at what he says that it's very tempting to laugh. And I feel like that's half the struggle as a parent, is not laughing when your kid does something it's really not appropriate. And if you laugh, it's just going to egg them on and make them want to do it again or find something else that makes you laugh. But it's like, no, I have to be the adult here, and I have to go, okay, no, that's not something that we do or something that we say. But inside, I'm like, that was freaking hilarious. Like, that was amazing. So that's the struggle there. And then our youngest, we tried to tackle kind of a big like developmental thing this past weekend. He's autistic. He has special needs and has a pretty significant speech delay. We're in speech therapy and everything, but we just tried to tackle, like I said, just kind of a big developmental related milestone, and it wasn't really working out. And we just had to be okay with okay, this isn't working right now, and this just got to be okay. And even Connor at the end of the day just sort of made an observation, and it was a very astute observation, just said, maybe we should try this again when Micah can talk more. And I was just like, you know what? That's exactly correct. And thankfully, Adam and I had already had the conversation at a time going, this just might not work right now, and we've got to be okay with it. And it was fine. But Micah has been a lot of fun. He is pure mischief and so silly. He got his hands on, okay, my nerd is going to be showing here for a second, but have any of you guys ever played the Kingdom Hearts games? I love them. I haven't played them in a really long time. Kingdom Hearts 3 was kind of a letdown in my opinion, especially after the 10 years that we waited for that game. But the first two games were like a fixture of my childhood, and I still have a very soft spot for them. But there was it WizardCon that Adam went to several years back? I think that was the one. WonderCon, WizardCon. Wow, I'm such a mom.
Wizard one also.
I'm thinking of maybe that one's in New York.
I think Wizard is in Chicago.
Okay. Nerds, sound off in the comments with me, okay? Tell us.
Last I checked was Chicago.
Wizard World.
There might be other wizard named ones.
Right.
Yeah,
no.
WonderCon.
WonderCon.
The one in LA that's run by the San Diego Comic-Con people.
That's right. Typically much smaller scale and less intense than San Diego Comic-Con, which we did for 2 years, and we may do again someday. But we got in on. We
need a knee replacement or something.
You need a knee replacement. They make those little pop-up benches that are really compact that fold down that you can sit on. Because these cons are mostly just a lot of waiting in line, especially the big ones like Comic-Con. Anyway, so backtracking. We're going on tangent. Too many tangents. And I lost it, and there's back. Okay, so I didn't go with him to WonderCon because, well, kids, which is fine. And also, to be fair, I didn't feel that strongly about going, so it was fine. But he comes back and goes, I brought you something. And I'm like, what? And it's giant, and he pulls out, and it's like a 2-scale Keyblade. It's made of foam. It's fine. But it's got a lot of detail to it. But Micah found this earlier and has never messed with it before. But he was like, oh, it's a key. And he proceeds to go around and try to pretend to unlock various doors in the house because he recognized, oh, it's a key. And I was trying to show him, no, you hold it like this and everything. It was just a really cute and amusing moment. I was like, well, it is supposed to open all locks, but not working on that one, kiddo. So both kids have been a lot of fun. Tiring in a lot of ways. That's a little bit just sort of life when you've got kiddos with special needs, but we adore them and love their antics and are often exhausted by them by the end of the day. But yeah, so they'll be glad to go back to. Well, Mike, I think, will be really excited to go back to school. And I love having them around. I adore my children. Don't take this some type of way, but it'll be a little bit of a relief for me when they're back in school as well, because right now it's hard to try to do all the things when they're around a lot. It's just sort of things. Really, I love filming in the mornings. I've talked about that a lot. I really love when I can film in the mornings as opposed to in the evenings after they go to bed. And it's kind of I have to fit so many different things now in the evenings after they go to bed, including even just diamond painting. My diamond painting time has suffered a lot over the summer, which 100% fine. Obviously, my children are my priority. But it's just the reality is that I haven't gotten as much diamond painting done. The events of the past week and the toll that it took on me emotionally, frankly, also meant that I didn't do a lot of diamond painting this last week. But I just am feeling such a measure of peace and having processed through lots of things and feeling a lot more confident in myself that I'm like, oh, yay, I'm enjoying diamond painting again. So that's good. Where was I going with that? Oh, just, getting into fall. It'll be I'll have the whole day to run errands, which I did. I took Micah to the grocery store with me today, and it was a whole thing. he kept wanting to grab stuff and be like, oh, we need this. Oh, we need that. He wasn't happy about going to the store in the first place. I had to bribe him and be like, well, you're supposed to help me pick out what kind of cookies we get. And he was like, oh, cookies? So it's fine. It's fine. I'm not above using bribery in certain circumstances. But yeah, so... speaking of nerds, we were talking about nerds a little bit ago. I really loved how much the Good Omens fans came out of the woodwork after last week's WIP and Chat. I think it helps that I put it in the title. I'm still not okay after the finale of season 2. Still no spoilers, I promise, but I'm not okay. Neil Gaiman just ripped out my heart and stomped on it. But I am really desperately hoping that things work out for season 3. Though I'm sure with the writer's strike and everything that is really going to put a big hold on anything really being announced, if I had to guess. But I'm going to need that in my life sooner rather than later.
They better not end it there.
You just scared me. You startled me. I just drew a line of drills.
I feel very strongly about this.
They're not allowed to end it.
You can't end that there.
You know what I did read, though, and this should be reassuring. Neil Gaiman already knows what the story for season 3 would be and has said that it will be released in some form. So if it doesn't get renewed, we'll get closure. But, I don't want closure that doesn't involve Michael Sheen and David Tennant reprising those roles. So I'm just saying, everyone go put Good Omens season 2 on loop on your Prime Video subscription so that it boosts those numbers, okay? I haven't started the next Throne of Glass book yet. I hesitated on starting the official 4th book in the series, which I think is Queen of Shadows, because shortly after I mentioned that in last week's WIP and Chat, some of you guys, and I even saw, I think a friend told me that Bailey J talked about it in her live stream, that after the 3rd book is really where they say is a great place to go back and read the prequel, The Assassin's Blade. And so I think I'm going to do that. And then hop into and then come back and hop into Queen of Shadows. But I'm like, do I really want to lose my momentum? But people were saying, oh no, there's some good character stuff here that it could be really, really good to know. So I'm thinking I may do that, and I'd like to start that this week. I have had so many people recommend Fourth Wing to me to read, and I just do have a hunch it's going to be right up my alley, but I've tried to use this as motivation for myself to get through the Throne of Glass series, to be like, after you finish Throne of Glass, you can read Fourth Wing. Apparently the second one is coming out later this year, so it's not I'd rather not rush. I'd rather read it when I can go right into the second one anyway, but we shall see. As far as TV shows go, I kind of haven't really been picking up any other shows to watch at the moment. I've been watching a lot of YouTube live streams and stuff like that. And I'm listening to a lot of music, a lot of Taylor. But I had a friend tell me that she thought I would like The Witcher. And not just because of Henry Cavill, not just for looks, but
excuse me.
We're very confident in our relationship. It's fine. But that's on my list to maybe try. And then Adam was telling me, this is really funny that he saw this show before I did, but Queen Charlotte, I haven't seen yet. So I don't know. I'm kind of feeling in a place where I don't want to branch out and try new things as far as TV shows go, but those are on my radar. That's what's on my radar. I'll see if I'm in the mood to try any of that this week. But yes, that's what's coming. As far as content goes, are you proud of me? I finally got a small shop haul video after talking about how badly I needed to do one for weeks. So I did get one of those up, excuse me. I may have a post review up this week. I have a kit that I've completed that I haven't done a post review on yet. The Away From It All, the Ivy Dollamore that had a really pretty artist with the paintbrush and the rainbow paint palette all in the dark blue background. I might try to do a post review on that one this week. I have kind of a backlog of kits that I haven't unboxed. I actually have I have some kits from Munimade and Randa's Crafty Corner that I had ordered actually a couple months ago, and they just have kind of been sitting, and I haven't done a dedicated unboxing video for those yet. And I just picked up one of Munimade's Cat Fedora new releases, and that came in. So maybe I'll do a Munimade haul unboxing with I have 2 of the deity mermaids, and then I have that cat fedora kit all from Munimade, and then I have the strawberry dragon from Randa, which I feel like I got months ago, but I don't know. I just have a number of kits that I haven't ever filmed unboxings for on the channel, so maybe I'll go dig through those and try to put up some small shop unboxings this week as well. But we'll see. I'm just going to kind of follow my nose, and if there's anything that you guys want to see, of course, let me know. But I think I stopped and started this a few times, and so I'm actually not positive how long I've been talking, but it feels like it's been about an hour. So I think I will go ahead and try to wrap it up, and hopefully I'm not completely off base. But I just want to thank you guys for spending some time with me today, especially as I was talking through things at the beginning. And I have some of the most wonderful and fantastic and encouraging and kind subscribers and viewers in the world. And so I feel like a lot of this was truly designed not to be some kind of pointed attack at any of you. This was more just me trying to share some of my learnings, and if nothing else, I guess just encourage you to keep being kind, because you make a difference to me, and I have a feeling you make a difference to the people around you when you are uplifting and you just try to be a light in this world. So thank you for being you. You are amazing and wonderful, and I hope that you know it. And here, you are more than enough. Just a little reminder. If you need that reminder, there's that reminder as well. But let's see. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, let's do an emoji that just makes you smile. It can be anything. I'm watching to see like how sassy some of these are going to be. Someone's going to be like, the poop emoji makes me smile. That's fine. Just anything that makes you smile I'm good with. I'm going to work on completing this section with all of these ABs. And this tray though, like how perfect is this giant tray for multi-placing all these ABs? Fantastic. So I'm happy with all the accessories. This new to me pen, very comfortable. I was nervous at first that it was going to feel too thick, but it's comfortable. It's really ergonomic, and it's got a nice turning here that makes it really comfortable to hold. I like the putty, which I've used Butterfly Effect Wear's dot putty before and no issues. This WeWax formula is great. I feel like I don't know formulas. I'm not going to ask Laura what her formulas are, of course. But it feels, similar in texture and everything to the original formula. And, that wax worked great. And it was nice to have sitting out. It just smelled really nice. So thumbs up all around on all the things. And the bracelets. I like the bracelets. Anyway, you guys, thanks for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate you a lot. If you're not already subscribed, feel free to go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell if you want to be notified when I share new videos. I'll have hopefully some good stuff coming this week. And, I'm going to let you go. Let me know down in the comments if you want, in addition to the happy emoji, what you were working on, how you're doing, and I'm going to leave it at that. Have a day that is as amazing as you are, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.